Hello everyone, welcome back to the 20 Dilf channel, and this is the 2023 Mercedes-Benz CLA 45S AMG. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is doing a complete overview of this car, so driving it, what's under the bonnet, everything else about this car you're going to see in this video. So let's get into it. So let's start off at the front, where of course you've got the distinctive Mercedes-Benz Panamericana style grille, I believe that's what they call it. You've got your little camera here just above the badge for the 360 camera that this car is equipped with. Obviously your Mercedes badge acts as the radar cruise control sensor as well, which is really nice and good. These headlights, a really cool design. They're the Mercedes multi-beam headlights, so similar to the Audi Matrix LEDs, so you can have it will dim parts of the headlight to avoid blinding oncoming traffic when you've got the high beams on. So very cool technology there. You've got this whole exposed area down here for cooling. It's very, very nice. It's a functional front end. That's what I like about it. There's no fake aero. It's just functional, and that's it. It's very, very nice. You've also got these little canards down the side here on either side, which makes this car look really, really aggressive from the front, especially in black. Let's move around to the side of the Mercedes CLA 45, and obviously you've got these 19-inch AMG wheels hiding behind them, some very, very meaty brakes, and this thing's got some stopping power, let me tell you. It's very much set up for the track. But it's done so in a way where it's also usable on the road, and obviously we'll get to that when we drive it. And it's really, really nice. The side of the car is actually very nice and sleek, very rounded off, very Mercedes, I suppose, styled car, not edgy, just timeless creases along the side there, which I really, really like. What I don't like is the badges on the side here. So it's not actually an issue with the badge themselves, but if we step around to the other side here, you'll notice the T, it's actually an Urbo 4MATIC Plus. That's what this car is. So the glue, it's a common issue. The glue underneath these badges just, I don't know, it's not very good. And the badges just fall off when you wash it. So that's a common complaint with a lot of Merc models as well, not specifically the CLA. It affects a lot of Mercs. So chances are if you've got a Merc, you've got a CLA, A-Class, whatever, chances are you'll have the issue with the badges. So just bear that in mind. But over a regular CLA, you've got this little side skirt down here, which is the real only noticeable difference apart from the wheels and the lowered ride height and the canards at the front there. But yeah, overall a really good looking side, and I think the car looks really, really cool from the side. Let's move around to the rear of the CLA 45, where of course you've got your distinctive CLA taillights here. Pretty big pieces actually for what this car is. So it's a pretty, I would say it's on the smaller end of a sedan, kind of micro sedan, if you could even call it that. But yeah, it looks really, really good. You've got this little ducktail spoiler here as well, which adds just a little bit more aggression to the rear, and it looks really, really nice. Carbon Auto House sticker there, of course. Sean, absolute legend, lent me his car. This is his personal car, lent it to me to film this little review, so thank you very much, Sean. Check out the guys at Carbon Auto House, they are legends. But more on the rear, you've got AMG lettering there, CLA 45S badge there. You've got your Mercedes logo there, which is actually a pop-out camera as well, and it's also used as the boot release. Moving further down, you've got a quad tip exhaust system here. The factory system, I'll be honest, just due to emission regulations, sound regulations, all of that, it is very quiet for a standard exhaust, which is unfortunate as it is an AMG. It should be loud, it should be shouting at you every time you hop behind the wheel. But obviously we'll hear that in a second. You got your diffuser here as well, which is really, really nice. Very nicely integrated into the rear bumper here. And then you got your fake little flicks there at the back too. Probably the only fake little bit of aero, if you could even call it that, on the car. But let's go start it up and hear how this exhaust sounds. I think in terms of an OPF'd 4-cylinder performance car, this car actually is pretty decent in terms of the standard exhaust, at least what you can get away with now. But I think what we should do now is pop the bonnet and see what is actually powering this thing. So under the bonnet of the CLA 45S, you've got the 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo from AMG. Of course, one man, one engine, so this was made by whoever the hell that bro is. And I mean, this thing gets up and goes. Let me tell you, 314 kilowatts from factory, 500 newton meters of torque out of a 4-cylinder turbo. And that's stock, that's factory. It is crazy. It is crazy to think that you can get so much power out of a 4-cylinder from factory. And of course, this engine runs ridiculously hot just due to obviously how confined this space is. So it does actually need a lot of the aero at the front too. Yeah, it runs real hot as well because of the OPF, everything like that. Emission standards aren't doing engines any favors, let me tell you. But yeah, it's very, very crammed into this space, but you've got a lovely engine cover here too, which it's very nice. I don't actually think this is real carbon fiber, but it looks very nice and presentable underneath here. Obviously got the turbo at the back there. And yeah, I mean, that's really it for it. You've also got a little strut brace there too, AMG strut brace from factory, which is pretty cool to see. And yeah, I think that is just about it for the bonnet. Obviously being a Mercedes, it does have, oh no, this doesn't have a service mode, I suppose because of the gas strut there. Yeah, usually I'm used to Mercs having a service mode. This one doesn't. Okay, that's good to know. Of course, I think we should now step into the interior of the A45 AMG, and to greet you, you have this amazing AMG steering wheel. This is one of the nicest feeling steering wheels I've ever felt personally. It's perfectly sized, so it's very nice and kind of chunky in the hand, but not too chunky, if you know what I mean. The design of the actual steering wheel is very, very nice. You've got all your MBUX settings here. I'll get to that in a minute, but you can control the entire infotainment pretty much just off the buttons right here. Cruise control settings there too. Very nice digital display just kind of plonked on the dash here. There's just so much going on as soon as you step in the car, to be honest. If we turn the ignition on, you'll be able to see that down here we actually have our drive settings. So it defaults to comfort mode, but you can change the traction settings here. The gearbox settings here is obviously drive, manual, and then if you turn this, you've got your sport plus, race mode, everything like that. I think there's a drift mode here too, snow mode. Yeah, you've got a lot of settings you can play with in this car. So that's really good to see. Obviously the dashboard up here, really customizable. I actually haven't played around with it too much, but you've got all your performance displays here. So, oh, here we go. So you can display so many different options just here. So change what the, yeah, wow. It's pretty customizable. I'm not gonna go through it in this video, but you can do it when you get your CLA 45. Heated seat button here. I believe overseas they probably got a cooled seat option as well, but just not over here because it is Australia. So of course they put the heated seat in Australia because obviously it never gets warm here, so you need that. Memory seats as well, obviously they're shaped like a seat, so that is all nice and good. Door quality actually feels really nice. You've got an ambient lighting strip through here too, which also continues into the air vents as well, which is really, really cool. Yeah, very nice materials used here. Not really any scratchy plastics, which is nice. You got a sunroof in here too, which is nice. And these seats, don't even get me started on these seats. They are fantastic. They're they're semi-bucket AMG seats, and they are the most perfect balance of comfort and sportiness, I suppose you could ever experience in a car like this. It's just so perfectly set up. I love these seats. They're so comfortable. But they also have a lot of bolstering on the side, so you actually feel like you're nice and snug. So on the track, this thing would be an absolute weapon. Yeah, it's also got a Harman Kardon, Burmester sound system, which is really, really good. The Burmester sound systems from Merc are really, really high quality too, so that's all nice and good. Obviously, we've talked about that display. Let's talk about this one. So you can either control it from the little trackpad down here. You can create a profile where I think we're in guest mode at the moment, so it's still got the original cover on the screen here. I'm not going to make it all dirty, so I'll use the little trackpad down here. Yeah, so you've got a lot of options through here. You can obviously, you got your track pace, telemetry details here too. So it's very, very custom. Like the MBUX system in the standard Mercs is already very intuitive, or I suppose it shows you a lot of options, but this is just, it takes it up to another level. Like you get so much info about the car just through these standard settings here, which is really, really cool. And of course you've got just your standard MBUX settings as well. The graphics are really nice, obviously it being a Merc, so it all looks very nice, and it definitely dominates the segment in terms of the tech. So huge thumbs up on that front. You got your triple vents here, you got your climate control settings here, which thankfully are still buttons. They're not integrated into the display, which is very nice. Little cup holder down here. I don't think there's a wireless charging pad, but you've got a little cover here as well to cover it up, which is all very, very nice. Piano black, so in a few years' time, this will all be scratched up. And here you've got your dynamic select, so you can obviously select it from the steering wheel, inside the display, all through here too. So that's very, very nice. You've literally got one that says slippery mode, so we all know that's what that's for. You got your parking sensor button there, vehicle quick access thing there, a couple other little settings, volume button there too. You got your little I suppose this is like a little palm rest, I would say. Yeah, your exhaust settings here, so you can have it in quiet or loud. You got your manual gearbox there, I suppose settings for it. Traction button there, the suspension settings, so you can have it on like kind of 3 settings, so probably comfortable, normal, and sport, I would say. Yeah, no, it's just such a nice interior, and of course you got your AMG lettering there with the AMG stripes there too. It's just a really, really nice interior. Definitely dominates the segment, and I can see why so many people love these things, because it's just very, very incredibly laid out. I don't know, the interior on this thing, it's so much better than any of the competition. So anyway, that's enough of me blabbering on about this car. Let's go take it for a drive and see how this thing feels. Okay, so here we are in the CLA 45, and let's just start it up. You do get a lot of artificial noise pumped into the interior if you've got it in a sportier drive mode, so that's fine. I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Let's turn the volume off. Yeah, so I'm not gonna let's go take it for a drive, shall we? So I think we'll start it off in comfort mode, see how it feels. Yeah, let's start it off in comfort mode. Make sure that we don't scrape it on the way out of here. That would not be an ideal situation. Alright, so this isn't my usual filming location, so we're gonna have to find a decent place to actually test this thing. But driving it in comfort mode, it's nice and comfortable, as you'd expect. It is a Merc ultimately, so you do expect a high level of comfort out of it. But no one wants to drive. No one who buys one of these things is going to drive it in comfort mode very long. So I think what we should do is put it into Sport Plus. I'm not going to thrash this car, but we'll give it a little pull just to see how it feels. We'll put the gearbox in manual mode. Alright. It's like a rocket. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. That is actually insane. Wow. Okay. Even like half throttle. Oh wow. And this thing would absolutely come to life if you threw an exhaust on it as well. Like, oh my gosh. It feels insane to drive. Like the steering's nice and heavy too. Coming up to a little roundabout here, so. Wow. It is literally like a little rocket. It is a hot hatch, I would classify it as a hot hatch, but yeah, that's quick. That is quick, and you got all the tech in the world as well. Yeah. Sell the Golfer, buy one of these. I reckon 100%. Like, it's thrilling to drive. It's really thrilling to drive. Now, obviously, we're back at Carbon Auto House, so go up here, wrap things up. It's a short little drive today. I don't want to waste Mr. Sean's fuel. So yeah. Wow, that is quite something. And the car, I've noticed, it actually doesn't look like it's running as hot as our GLC. Our GLC runs really, really hot. Wow. I'm a little bit blown away by this thing, to be honest. You don't expect it to hit so hot. This is a stock car, and it's already like, oh wow. Yeah, I'm impressed with this. Yeah, if you want one, go buy it. It's worth the money that you pay for it. Let me tell you. That's crazy. I'm a little bit lost for words with this car, and it's nice. Like, you got the sunroof as well. It's just a perfect car, and it's practical as well. It's just this is all the car you could ever want. Like, literally all the car you could ever want. Alcantara steering wheel feels lovely as well. It is going to wear out, obviously, being Alcantara on a car that you would technically daily drive. So, wow. Okay, I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with this car. If you want one, go buy it. Like, yeah. But, on that note, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you very much for watching. If you want me to review your car next, please let me know. Text me on Instagram at 20dilf. I'll review anything, but this is possibly one of the best cars I've ever reviewed, because it's just really, like, you hear people going on and on about the A45s, the CLAs, and you go, oh yeah, right. And then you drive one, you're like, what? I think it's going to be a similar story with the i30N when I get my hands on one of those, but yeah. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Make sure you check out Carbon Auto House. Take your car here. I'm telling you, they do the best job. Hands down, hands down. You're taking your car here, alright? Yeah, very good. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one.